We have an update for you on the investigation into the collapse of the Champlain Towers South condominium collapse in Surfside, Florida, which is just north of Miami Beach. The investigation, which is being run by NIST, which is the National Institute for Standards and Technology, announced that they have completed all of their testing so far at the site of the condo collapse. They announced this last Thursday on September 29th, which is my birthday. But guess what, man? I was out of town. I was in Los Angeles at the Vid Summit conference, and I just flew back into Fort Lauderdale after dodging Hurricane Ian. Of course, immediately got to this video. Part of the testing over the summer, NIST got together with the National Science Foundation's Natural Hazards Engineering Research Infrastructure at the University of Texas in Austin. And these guys collaborated with the Utah State University, and they contributed a specialized truck that you see in this picture here, which is designed to shake the ground at specific frequencies. So this truck is called the Thumper. It's the mini mobile shaker, but technically called the Urban Vibroses. So this created underground waves in designated parts of the site for them to test. Now, if you look at this other picture, this is the truck in action. This technology was actually developed for earthquake research. So this is the first time they've used it in a building collapse. So this is sort of a novel application for them. They built these vibration sensors and pushed them into the ground. And so these are here to measure the propagation, or how the waves move through the ground and how they were diminished by the different soil layers. Sensors that are forming a square, the researchers are able to sort of see how the waves travel through the soil. So this data will help them determine how this structure was interacting with the soil beneath the foundation. So this in turn will actually affect how the building responded to these different loads or stresses, and did it really react much with the soil underneath? Did it have anything to do with the collapse? The data that they collected here will also help them improve their computer models that they use to model the building and the collapse and everything. And there's many models they're using. There's a lot of data they're taking, so they have to take all of this data and everything gets fed back in, where they then will use that feedback to adjust their models to make them more and more accurate, to help really get to the root cause of what caused the Champlain Towers condo to collapse. And then I want to show you some additional video and photos that I shot at the June 24th remembrance ceremony there on the condo site. Now, you might recall in that remembrance video that I uploaded back in June, showing the First Lady Jill Biden was there, the Florida Governor Ron DeSantis was there, and it was the first time that we were actually allowed on the site. In order to keep that other video short, I didn't want it getting out of control, so I only showed you just a couple of tidbits. Today I'm going to show you a few more here of what I shot there. This is just exclusively what I shot, video and photos, to give you more details as to what was going on there, and you'll be flabbergasted by how much damage they've done to that site so far with their testing. As soon as the judge approved that $1.1 billion settlement back around May or June, they hit the ground running, man. In early June, they just started drilling holes and turning that place into Swiss cheese. So here's some more of the newer videos and photo that I was unable to show you on the last video. So this is the first time I've been able to get on the site myself and take my own pictures and video. And so here's what the pool looks like right now. They have already started removing the pavers. Those are the smaller pavers off of the pool. There you can see the larger ones. Large sections of the bordering wall to 87 Park Place are missing there. Invasive cuts. I don't remember seeing a lot of these here before. So they've already started. This view shows it much clearer how the entire south wall above ground, the border between Champlain Towers, has been removed. This is the area under dispute where plaintiffs from the Champlain Towers South had alleged that the construction of the building next door caused excessive vibration and ruined the wall, and they think that the pool deck separated right here along this area between M, and then L would be right there, and then K would be probably right by that blue truck. Now look behind column number 10 here. Look at all of the core holes they drilled in the ramp wall there, and then in this column here, and then in the north wall, you can see some other core samples that were drawn there as well. Now you can see here we're at the east end of the pool, and this is as close as I've ever been to this pool. I have never been able to get views this close of the pool, but now you can. Now here's a view that I've never been able to bring you before. At the beginning of the ramp that takes you down to the garage floor. And here we can get a much clearer view of those three areas that I was pointing out to you before, of those columns where they started the evasive testing. Look to the right, you can see they've already drilled cores on that H-beam. First column right there. M9.1/M10. This is the best view I've ever been able to get of M11.1. So there's the column right there. It's patched up. It's been removed and it's patched up, which is kind of interesting because all of the other columns in this area are still there. And the number of times that we've seen drone shots here back when NIST was still active on the site, that's the area where I would see them concentrated the most, you know, on the ground with equipment, bending over, examining things. And also here, this is the first time I've been able to show you the ramp from this angle on my own. They drilled a lot of core holes. That's really what's left of it, not much, just that one sidewall. And they've already started chopping up the bottom of that ramp. A lot of the sand is just piled up there now. Now, as we look along the north wall, you saw those holes there, and then the slots that were cut down the wall. And then look at the Swiss cheese on the side wall of the ramp there, and behind it on the vestibule wall in the background. They cut numerous holes. And then as you look further along the south wall, this is sort of where the part of the condo that survived was, right here. But you can see, even over there, they're digging more holes in the wall there, those rectangular holes that you see back there. Some of those are horizontal and some are vertical. And then when you look over at the elevator shaft area, this is the door where Maria Ileana Montegudo escaped down the stairwell and popped up down into the garage here. The security guard Shamoka helped guided her all the way over here, over by the south wall where she was rescued. Here's one of many columns that had concrete core holes drilled through them. So it looks like they've cut through the wall of the garage up to, but not including the other side of that wall. Looking at some of the photographs that I shot down at the Champlain Towers Condo Collapse site on June 24th, here you can see all of the core holes that are drilled here in the wall. This is in the elevator wall, you know, the vestibule area. And you can see what they did. They drew these lines on here representing all of the rebar rods that were inside the wall. Sound penetration device that they wave it up and down on the wall to find out where the rebars are. Because when they drill these cores, they always want to avoid hitting those rebar rods. And then this close-up shot here near the pool, that's column number 37 to the right of the pool. And you can see it's got holes all over it like Swiss cheese. And then you can see the lines that they made there for the rebar. And if you look just below the 37, you can see the M15 written on there. And that is from the floor plan, of course. Here we're zooming into some photos I shot along the south wall where you can see much clearer detail of the cuts that they made into the wall there. And then here you can also see the pool and the missing south wall segments above it to the right. And man, they really went to town on these two cutouts here along the south wall. This is right by the side of the pool here, and it's that border wall between the Champlain Towers South condo and the 87 Park condo next door. These are the three columns along the southern end of the building that collapsed, where they were doing the most testing, probably looking for the pile caps and maybe even down to the piles. Check out these large fans they set up there at the site to cool everybody off. NIST is going to give us an update into their investigation at the National Construction Safety Team Advisory Committee meeting on October 19th, but don't expect a whole lot of information. They don't really like to give out a lot of information until the full report is ready. Now, I will, of course, be attending that meeting, and I will let you know that day what was going on in the meeting there, what the results are, anything that's important, to keep you up to date with the investigation. If you like the subject of these videos here on the condo collapse in Miami, make sure you click on these two videos here to watch these as well. They'll give you some great insight into the condo collapse.